You're here for a reason. Seriously, that subtle pull, that nagging feeling, it led you to this very video. And as you watch, a deeper understanding of why will start to click. Maybe lately life has felt like a whirlwind spiraling into uncertainty, a jumble of challenges with no clear purpose. But what if all this turbulence is actually the universe's loudest signal yet? What if it's the clearest sign that you're about to step into the most powerful, beautiful, and profoundly meaningful chapter of your life? Because what many of us often miss is that the universe always whispers before it shouts. It sends those subtle nudges, those quiet signals long before a monumental shift begins. The real challenge is that most folks never truly recognize these signals. They brush them off as just bad luck or one of those days throwing in the towel just before their biggest breakthrough. But not you. You're still here, still listening, and that already tells me you're paying attention. Today I'm going to guide you through 7 undeniable signs that your life is on the precipice of a profound transformation. And if even 3 of these resonate with you, then get ready because a brand new reality is already unfolding. Let's dive into the first sign. Sign 1, you begin questioning everything you thought you knew. If you've recently found yourself deep in thought, scrutinizing your core beliefs, your personal values, your long-held goals, or even your very sense of purpose, it's far from accidental. This isn't random introspection. It's because an internal tectonic shift has already begun within you. While this profound inner transformation might not be outwardly visible just yet, it's incredibly real. It feels like the mental frameworks and old assumptions you have always relied on are starting to dissolve. And yes, it's undeniably unsettling. But that discomfort, it's sacred. It's the undeniable signal that you are awakening to a more authentic version of yourself. The universe is practically inviting you to reevaluate every single thing you have ever taken for granted. Questioning your day-to-day reality, the dynamics of your relationships, your career path. This isn't a breakdown, it's a breakthrough. It's the universe gently yet firmly urging you to dismantle the outdated narratives you've been living under, to clear the way for something far grander than you could have ever envisioned. This shift in perspective is crucial for your evolution. It's life showing you that your mind is expanding, ready to welcome fresh ideas and step into a future that genuinely aligns with your deepest truth. These profound questions: who am I really? What do I genuinely desire from this life? Am I living in a way that honors my soul's unique calling? These aren't just abstract philosophical musings. They are powerful portals. And once you step through them, there's no turning back. Suddenly, the world feels unfamiliar. Things that once made perfect sense now seem to lose their meaning. Old certainties vanish. And while this might feel like losing your footing, it's actually you finally finding your true path. This disorientation is the universe's masterful way of clearing the path, of making ample space for the authentic you to finally emerge unburdened by the old roles, the tired expectations, and the worn-out stories that simply don't fit anymore. It's akin to a spiritual detoxification, a necessary shedding of the false self so that your genuine self can be born anew. The universe in its infinite wisdom begins to strip away the masks, the convenient lies, and the outdated identities. What remains is raw, honest, and undeniably real. And even though this process can feel like pure chaos, it is, in fact, an act of creation. You are being meticulously rebuilt, stronger, wiser, and far more attuned to the profound truth of who you genuinely are. Remember, this profound questioning is not a detour. It's the beginning of the true journey. You're not losing your way. You're finally starting to truly see it. And yes, it's absolutely terrifying when the familiar crumbles. But that beautiful falling apart is precisely what creates the space for something infinitely better to emerge. You're not broken. You're gloriously breaking free. And it's not just your beliefs that are being challenged. You might notice that your relationships, your ingrained habits, and even your daily routines are undergoing significant shifts. people who no longer vibrate at your frequency begin to quietly fade away. Circumstances that once provided comfort might now feel suffocating like a heavy blanket. That's because you are actively shedding everything that doesn't resonate with your newly awakened frequency. Think of this as an internal spring cleaning a powerful filter that permits only what truly nourishes your soul to remain while gently releasing everything else. And yes, that undeniably involves letting go. Letting go of those cozy comfort zones, of the familiar aches, of the illusion of absolute control. It's difficult because these things might have felt like integral parts of your identity, but they aren't who you are. They were merely tools for a different phase of your life. And what comes next, that's where the true magic resides. On the other side of this magnificent upheaval is a new version of you. More resilient, more conscious, and deeply aligned with your deepest truth. You'll start to feel it, a subtle yet potent sensation. A thrilling mix of apprehension and exhilaration, as if something monumental, something truly extraordinary is just around the corner. And that feeling, that's no random occurrence. That's your intuition speaking to you loud and clear. It's the undeniable sign that your consciousness is expanding, that you're dissolving the self-imposed limitations you once accepted as solid boundaries. And as those internal walls begin to crumble, something exquisitely beautiful starts to flourish. New dreams, a renewed sense of purpose, an invigorating surge of energy. It's like meticulously weeding a garden to make abundant room for vibrant blossoming life. And this is where the magic truly unfolds. You'll begin to receive answers, but perhaps not in the neat, predictable way you expect. They might manifest as serendipitous encounters, uncanny synchronicities, a stranger's perfectly timed words, or a book that mysteriously appears in your hands. These moments, seemingly random, carry messages specifically tailored for you. Even if you don't have every single answer just yet, you'll feel it. You're undeniably on the right path. Because the very act of questioning is transformation in motion. It's not a sign of weakness. It's profound wisdom. The kind of wisdom that blossoms when you stop pretending and start truly listening. Listening to yourself, to your soul's quiet whispers, to the subtle guidance of the universe. And as you continue to lean into this powerful process, you'll notice the external world beginning to beautifully mirror your inner shifts. That's the profound beauty of alignment. Your reality starts to change, not because the world itself has changed, but because you have. You've elevated your frequency. You've opened your eyes. You've decisively reclaimed your power. So don't shy away from the questions. Welcome them. Embrace the glorious uncertainty. Allow yourself to fully experience the discomfort because it's irrefutable proof that you're growing. And every truly great transformation begins precisely this way, with a dash of confusion, a sprinkle of doubt, a fleeting sense of falling apart. But what you're really doing is majestically falling into place. And when you finally surrender to this organic process, you'll start perceiving the signs the universe has been patiently sending you all along. They've always been there quietly waiting for you to be ready. And now undeniably you are. Sign 2. A growing disconnection from your past. One of the clearest and most powerful indicators that you're on the cusp of entering an entirely new chapter in your life is a subtle yet profound shift, a growing disconnection from your past. This isn't an abrupt overnight phenomenon. It's a gradual, often quiet internal realignment that begins so subtly you might not even register it at first. But slowly, almost imperceptibly, the things that once ignited your passion, that fueled your motivation, that filled you with a sense of purpose and boundless energy, they begin to lose their hold over you. Perhaps you've started to realize that the hobbies you once obsessed over, the conversations that used to energize you, or the daily routines that brought comfort now feel oddly hollow. It's as if you're gazing at the same familiar world, but through an entirely different lens. Your eyes no longer sparkle at the same sights, your ears no longer respond with the same enthusiasm to the usual sounds. The people you once felt deeply entwined with, the places that felt like sacred sanctuaries, they now seem distant, almost foreign. You begin to notice that the intense emotions tied to those past experiences have simply faded. And in their place, a quiet, almost serene sense of detachment takes root. This profound shift isn't random. It's not just a passing mood or a fleeting phase that will simply evaporate with time. This is something far deeper, far more transformative. It is your soul gently but firmly urging you forward. It's a clear message that you've outgrown certain moments, certain relationships, certain versions of yourself. Your fundamental perception of life is actively evolving. And as that perception shifts, so too do your core goals, your deepest desires, your inherent values, and the very nature of your connections. Suddenly, the things that once formed the bedrock of your identity no longer feel like they belong to you. They feel like mere echoes of a life you once lived, faint shadows of a self you no longer inhabit. It's a truly disorienting experience. You don't always have a clear roadmap of where you're headed or precisely who you're destined to become. But you know with absolute certainty that you cannot go back. You cannot continue to pretend that the old life, the old narratives still fit the powerful new version of you. It simply doesn't. Your previous routines, that job that once defined your worth, the social circles you felt compelled to be a part of, even the automatic thoughts that guided your day-to-day, these all begin to unravel. And yes, this unraveling can feel profoundly unsettling. It can feel like a genuine loss, but simultaneously it is one of the most potent signs of genuine personal transformation. It's your inner being meticulously making space. It's you courageously shedding your old skin so that something far more aligned with your true essence can triumphantly emerge. Letting go of the familiar is never an easy feat. There's a natural, almost melancholic mourning that occurs when you release pieces of your identity that once felt so permanent. But this profound disconnection you're experiencing is not meant to punish you. It's meant to meticulously prepare you. It is actively making abundant room for what's next. Think of it as a sun-drenched clearing in a dense forest freshly opened by the relentless march of time and the gentle hand of change eagerly waiting to receive new vibrant life. What's coming may not yet be visible, but it's growing silently, patiently, just beneath the surface. This loss of intense interest in your past is a sacred, unmistakable signal from the universe. One that clearly tells you, even if you don't yet grasp the full scope, that something profoundly new is on its way. This isn't about abandoning everything you've ever known or cherished. It's about unbinding yourself from the things that have simply fulfilled their purpose. It's about gently loosening your grip on attachments that no longer genuinely support your highest growth. You're entering a sacred time in your life where you are being powerfully called to release. Release the outdated roles you have played, the repetitive patterns you've unknowingly repeated, and the masks you've worn to conform. You're being courageously invited to step into a life that truly reflects who you are becoming, not merely who you once were. This profound transformation doesn't always make logical sense. It may feel profoundly uncertain. It may even feel like the very ground is shifting violently beneath your feet. But within that beautiful uncertainty lies the thrilling promise of something truly magnificent, expansion, rebirth, and the unparalleled chance to rediscover yourself in ways you never thought humanly possible. The feeling of disconnection is merely the prelude. Beneath it lies a cascading series of internal shifts. You'll begin to notice that your long-held beliefs are actively evolving, especially those stubborn, limiting ones you never dared to question before. That old version of yourself, the one who passively accepted certain truths, who lived strictly according to external expectations, who habitually followed the crowd, starts to gently fade away. You begin to challenge things you once took for granted as if a veil has been lifted. Perhaps you start looking inward more frequently, realizing that the external world no longer holds all the answers you seek. Maybe you feel your old structures are gracefully crumbling, not in a destructive way, but in a way that profoundly liberates you. You might even struggle to define who you are in this exhilarating new space. But despite that beautiful uncertainty, one thing becomes crystal clear. You are undeniably not the same person anymore. You are evolving, you are expanding, and that old skin simply no longer fits. There is a burning, undeniable desire within you to be reborn, to courageously step into a version of yourself that is bolder, freer, and infinitely more authentic. You may not yet know what that version looks like, but you can feel it resonating, calling to you from the depths of your being. As this sacred sense of disconnection deepens, a whisper of fear can sometimes creep in. Fear of truly letting go. Fear of losing what feels so familiar. Fear of stepping bravely into the vast unknown. But hand in hand with that fear comes a profound liberation. There is an incredible freedom in no longer needing to be who you used to be. There is immense strength in decisively releasing what no longer supports your highest path. That empty space you might feel inside. It's not emptiness at all. It's pure potential. It's the fertile womb of new beginnings. It's the unmistakable signal that something far more aligned with your soul's deepest longing is about to majestically emerge. And yes, it may be uncomfortable. Growth almost always is. But that discomfort is the sacred gateway to ultimate clarity. And with consistent time and patience, clarity inevitably comes. You stop frantically looking outside yourself for guidance. You stop relying on the shifting opinions of others to define your path. Instead, you courageously turn inward. You begin to unequivocally trust your inner wisdom, your intuition, the deep whispers of your heart, and the profound knowing of your soul. The cacophony of the world begins to gracefully fade, and in its place, a steady, quiet, powerful voice rises from deep within you. That voice becomes your unwavering compass. It becomes your unshakable truth. You stop desperately clinging to the past. You stop trying to artificially revive the old. Instead, you courageously open yourself to boundless possibility. You allow yourself to gracefully grow into someone entirely new. Every single day brings you closer to a more honest, more authentic version of who you truly are. Not the version molded by societal fear or stifling obligation or external expectation, but the magnificent version that has always been patiently waiting for you beneath the surface. So if you find yourself gently drifting away from who you once were, if your old life no longer truly fits, if the people habits and dreams that once felt utterly essential now feel strangely distant, then know this: your soul is powerfully guiding you. It's leading you step by sacred step to an exhilarating new beginning. And no, disconnection is not an end. It is the quiet, sacred, profound beginning of the majestic transformation you were always meant to experience. The real journey, your true journey, is just courageously beginning. Sign 3, questioning what truly matters. Have you ever caught yourself realizing that what used to consume your thoughts and energy now barely holds any weight? It's as if you're suddenly seeing life from an entirely different vantage point. The minor worries that once felt like insurmountable mountains begin to shrink. Material ambitions, the clamor of other people's opinions, and the relentless pressure of social expectations start to recede into the background, eclipsed by something far more profoundly meaningful. You begin to intensely question what truly matters to you. Your career trajectory, financial success, fleeting fame, they all seem like tiny puzzle pieces of a much grander picture you couldn't quite perceive before. You start to grasp that the authentic meaning of life isn't about meticulously adhering to societal benchmarks, but about living in exquisite alignment with what genuinely resonates deep within your soul. It's as if a filter or a heavy veil has gracefully fallen away, allowing you to see past the superficial surface and into the very essence of who you truly are. This inner questioning isn't always a smooth ride. It can churn up uncertainty, even leaving you feeling momentarily adrift in a vast ocean of conflicting ideas. But that very space of not knowing is incredibly fertile ground for immense personal growth. That's precisely the sacred place where new resonant answers begin to surface. Answers that originate from deep within you, not from external voices or noisy distractions. Life starts revealing to you in profound ways that genuine fulfillment doesn't spring from accumulating possessions, but from the rich tapestry of experiences that nourish your soul and the authentic relationships that deeply sustain your spirit. This questioning can even ignite a complete reevaluation of your core purpose. Why are you truly here? What do you most deeply desire to experience and contribute? The answers don't always materialize instantly, but what's absolutely certain is that you're opening yourself up to vast unexplored possibilities. What once felt utterly indispensable is now gracefully losing its power, making abundant room for new exciting interests, exhilarating passions, and a deeper, more profound longing to connect with what authentically matters to your spirit. This is an undeniable sign that you are meticulously preparing for a radical, beautiful transformation. The universe is gently guiding you toward what truly fulfills you, toward your authentic path. And although it may initially feel confusing, even a little disorienting, this is precisely the doorway to a more conscious, more intentional life, one exquisitely aligned with your purest essence. This shift in perspective typically unfolds gradually, but once it takes root, you realize it can no longer be ignored or suppressed. You begin to keenly observe that the things that used to offer a false sense of security now feel utterly hollow. You no longer feel the compulsive need to blindly follow the current of what society dictates as success. It's as if a fresh, vibrant energy is taking hold of you, powerfully pulling you toward a more authentic existence, one significantly less influenced by external expectations and fleeting trends. This process isn't merely about rejecting the old. It's about courageously allowing the new to gracefully enter. Those long dormant passions and interests you may have reluctantly set aside are suddenly reclaiming your avid attention. Perhaps you're joyfully rediscovering cherished old activities you'd forgotten, or even boldly exploring entirely new areas you never thought to consider. You no longer genuinely care about fitting neatly into a prescribed system or blindly following a well-worn conventional path. Instead, you're actively seeking a road that profoundly reflects your true values, your deepest purpose, the unique path that only you can define for yourself. This deep questioning may also come with a temporary, almost ethereal sense of loneliness. Initially, you might feel a gentle detachment from old friends or your customary social circle. This is a natural, healthy part of distancing yourself from external expectations in order to wholeheartedly find your inner truth. But please don't be afraid. It's only temporary. That momentary loneliness becomes a sacred space where profound self-awareness can flourish and truly blossom. And over time, you'll naturally begin attracting people who share your beautiful new vision, individuals who deeply resonate with your evolving worldview. It's like experiencing a profound system reset. What no longer genuinely serves you begins to gracefully fade, and in its place, a revitalized energy powerfully connects you with what genuinely matters most. This transformative process of questioning isn't a crisis. It's a magnificent awakening, an awakening that meticulously prepares you for something bigger, deeper, and profoundly more aligned with your unique purpose. And although the journey toward that profound discovery might initially seem uncertain, even a little daunting, you'll come to intimately understand that it's precisely what you needed to courageously become the best, most authentic version of yourself. Sign 4, heightened intuition. This is a truly fascinating phenomenon that frequently arises when you're on the precipice of making a major leap in your life. It's as if an entirely new kind of inner clarity gets powerfully activated within you. Suddenly, life begins to make more profound sense, as if everything carries a deeper, more resonant meaning, and every choice feels more organic, more natural. What once felt uncertain, muddled, or confusing now becomes strikingly obvious. Something profound within you starts actively guiding you, clearly showing you which direction to take, even in the absence of explicit logic. Intuition is that quiet, unwavering inner voice, that unmistakable gut feeling that tells you precisely what to do, even without the need for exhaustive answers or meticulous logical explanations. It's the profound sense of knowing that something is exquisitely aligned with your true self, even if you can't articulate the why. The essential key lies in learning to wholeheartedly trust that powerful inner wisdom. As you begin to do so, you'll notice that making decisions becomes remarkably easier because you're operating from a much deeper place, one that's far more intimately connected to who you truly are at your core. This powerful awakening of intuition isn't something that happens overnight in a flash of lightning. It frequently begins with subtle, almost gentle signs, a strong hunch that guides you to take a slightly different route, or a profound wave of calm that envelops you during moments of deep uncertainty. Initially, it might be challenging to recognize, especially since the relentless noise of everyday life often tends to drown out that delicate inner voice. But as you consciously start giving it space, intentionally cultivating moments of quiet, and beginning to listen with more discerning attention, you'll witness how it steadily grows stronger and undeniably clearer. Intuition can manifest in various, often surprising forms. Sometimes it's a distinct physical sensation in your body, a feeling of lightness or heaviness. Other times, it's a clear thought that spontaneously appears out of nowhere, or even an unexplainable profound certainty about a person or a particular situation. As you become more acutely attuned to its whispers, you'll begin to truly grasp that your choices are no longer purely rational or analytical. They emanate from a deeper, more profound knowing that is exquisitely in tune with your very essence. It won't even matter if you don't fully intellectually understand why something powerfully draws you in or intuitively pushes you away, because that undeniable feeling of certainty is the unmistakable genesis of a powerful transformation that's about to spectacularly unfold. As you continue to consciously nurture this sacred connection with your intuition, you'll start noticing that events which once seemed random or chaotically messy now possess a discernible, intelligent pattern, as if the intricate pieces of a vast puzzle are finally clicking into place. Your life begins to flow with remarkable naturalness, with a newfound smoothness, because you feel in some unexplainable yet profound way that you're exactly where you're meant to be, precisely when you're meant to be there, doing exactly what you're destined to do. You no longer feel the compulsive urge to meticulously overanalyze every single step, because you deeply trust that your intuition is faithfully guiding you toward the optimal path. This profound awakening also empowers you to perceive things that once went entirely unnoticed. You'll develop an uncanny ability to read between the lines, to intuitively sense the subtle energy of people and situations, and to grasp more deeply what's truly happening around you. Sometimes it's not about what's explicitly spoken, but what's implicitly felt. And now you'll be far more receptive to those subtle vibrations. The most astonishing aspect about this undeniable sign is that the more you courageously trust your intuition, the more you begin to experience a deep, pervasive sense of peace and an unshakable security you never even knew existed before. Even if you don't possess all the answers, even if the future remains an intriguing mystery, that potent feeling of being profoundly aligned with your purpose will be so powerful, so compelling, that absolutely nothing will be able to derail you from your destined path. Fear and nagging doubt begin to gracefully lose their grip, because your crucial decisions no longer originate from a place of fear, but from a deep, innate understanding of yourself and the profound universe that surrounds you. This unequivocally marks the beginning of an exhilarating phase of self-discovery and profound empowerment. As you continue to consciously learn to listen to your intuition, You'll notice that the choices you organically make bring you consistently closer to your true essence. Life starts to flow with a grace and ease you never even imagined possible, simply because you're now exquisitely aligned with the natural, harmonious rhythm of your own being. Yes, you feel more powerfully drawn to the idea of continuous personal growth. As this vibrant new chapter unfolds, you notice your mind opening wider than ever before, like a blooming flower. You're no longer content with what you once knew, nor with the version of yourself you once passively accepted. It truly feels as if a profound, insatiable desire for personal expansion is actively rising from within you. You no longer want to simply exist to merely go through the motions. You yearn to evolve, to continuously improve, to courageously push your perceived limits. This powerful inner drive for growth begins to actively guide your thoughts and your deliberate actions. You find yourself constantly seeking new, enriching knowledge through inspiring books, transformative courses, immersive experiences, or even profound conversations with people who thoughtfully challenge your established way of thinking. New insights, new skills, and truly transformative experiences draw you in like an irresistible magnetic force. It's as if you're profoundly hungry to learn more, to grow more, to become an even more authentic and powerfully effective version of yourself. This intense thirst for learning and self-discovery leads you to explore uncharted parts of yourself you never even considered uncovering. From your deeply buried passions to your most profound limitations, you sense that there's simply no time to waste, that now is the definitive moment to wholeheartedly embrace every single opportunity to boldly reinvent yourself. And it's not just about intellectual curiosity. It's about a deep, soulful longing to feel utterly whole, to align even more closely with your inherent values and your unique purpose. This compelling longing for growth also profoundly connects you to a transformative energy, a liberating feeling that truly nothing is impossible if you are genuinely willing to evolve. You find yourself far more open to gracefully releasing old self-limiting beliefs and wholeheartedly welcoming new perspectives that powerfully propel you forward. This personal development isn't just a fleeting desire. It's becoming an inner, non-negotiable necessity, one that will beautifully reflect in every single part of your life. What once seemed like a clear and rigidly defined path now feels beautifully uncertain, as though you need to discover new directions, new ways of thinking, and fresh ways of acting. Personal growth is no longer just a mere choice. It's a compelling, urgent priority. You're truly ready to embark on a journey that won't just incrementally change your outer world. It will profoundly reshape your inner self in ways you can't yet fully comprehend or imagine. You begin asking even deeper, more resonant questions. Who am I truly? What is my inherent purpose? What do I authentically want to do with the precious gift of my life? This intense period of questioning is absolutely no accident. It's a clear, unmistakable sign that your mind is ready to expand, to courageously break out of the comfort zone you once mistakenly believed was sufficient. You're not just passively searching for surface-level answers. You're passionately craving a profound transformation that elevates you to a higher level of conscious awareness, where the seemingly ordinary begins to feel exquisitely extraordinary. At the same time you feel a powerful, undeniable pull toward deep healing. It's not only about intellectual growth, it's profoundly emotional and spiritual as well. You courageously start confronting old wounds, deeply ingrained limiting beliefs, and persistent mental patterns that no longer serve your highest good. You're ready to wholeheartedly let them go, understanding that only by gracefully releasing the past can you make abundant room for the new. And while this profound process can be challenging, it simultaneously becomes one of the most exciting and liberating parts of your journey toward a more authentic self. Your life starts to revolve more acutely around what truly matters most: growth, genuine connection, and absolute authenticity. these begin to powerfully outweigh the small trivial concerns and superficial distractions that once consumed your precious attention. You are now truly ready to move beyond the monotonous daily routine to make meaningful, impactful changes that profoundly align with your deepest, most sacred desires. You may even start consciously surrounding yourself with people who also feel this compelling urge to grow and transform, individuals who gently challenge you to be better, to think differently, and to bravely explore new ideas and perspectives. You're no longer seeking external validation or desperately clinging to outdated beliefs. You're seeking a more meaningful and authentically lived life, a life that eloquently reflects the truest, most magnificent version of who you are. Sign 5, releasing toxic relationships and situations. Sign number 5. You're feeling an intense, undeniable desire to break free from toxic relationships and situations that no longer genuinely resonate with your evolving self. At this pivotal stage of your life, you're beginning to acutely notice how certain people in circumstances that once felt familiar, even like home, now seem entirely out of place. The things you used to passively tolerate, the behaviors you once readily excused, and the environments you once stoically accepted as normal, now feel oppressively heavy, profoundly draining, or simply utterly disconnected from the magnificent person you are becoming. You are not just merely outgrowing these dynamics, you are profoundly evolving past them. What once felt familiar and even superficially comforting no longer aligns with your rapidly evolving values, your deeper sense of purpose, or your precious inner peace. You are undergoing a profound, beautiful transformation. And that powerful process is making it utterly impossible to ignore the suffocating weight of what has been actively holding you back. It's like finally waking up from a long, hazy sleep and acutely realizing that some of the people and ingrained patterns you kept close were never truly helping you thrive. They were just perhaps unconsciously keeping you stuck in place. And now, undeniably, something profound has shifted inside of you. There's a dazzling clarity emerging, a powerful, crystal-clear awareness that you no longer want to remain trapped in connections that continuously drain your vital energy or keep you perpetually embroiled in a state of emotional turbulence. It frankly doesn't matter how long you've known someone, how much effort you've sacrificially invested, or how deeply familiar the situation feels. If it doesn't unequivocally support your growth, your expansion, your peace, it's time to courageously let it go. You no longer fear the inherent uncertainty that accompanies change, because the profound discomfort of remaining in a place that no longer feels right has undeniably become far greater than the lingering fear of the unknown. This powerful urge to distance yourself from toxic energy isn't about rejecting others with resentment or anger. It's about profoundly honoring yourself with unconditional love. It's not selfish to choose inner peace, to seek absolute clarity, to fiercely protect your precious energy. It's an act of profound self-respect. You're beginning to deeply understand that in order to truly become the best version of yourself, you must first be willing to bravely step away from what actively dims your light. You simply cannot construct a future that feels authentically true to you if you're still inextricably anchored to the past through relationships that no longer genuinely reflect who you are evolving into. What's beautifully unfolding within you is a sacred act of self-liberation. It's the profound understanding that you inherently deserve to be surrounded by people who uplift you, who genuinely challenge you in ways that promote your highest growth, who see you clearly, and who love you for exactly who you truly are, not who they want you to be. You're not looking for unattainable perfection. You're seeking absolute authenticity, profound realness, mutual respect, and genuine emotional safety. And while the process of letting go can be undeniably painful, because endings are never truly easy, it's also one of the most empowering, liberating things you can possibly do for yourself. It's a powerful declaration that your well-being matters, that your peace matters, that your time, your heart, your energy, they all profoundly matter. You no longer want to sacrifice those essential things for the sake of fleeting comfort or debilitating fear. You've acutely realized that clinging to what's merely familiar isn't worth the profound cost of your personal evolution. As you courageously release what no longer serves your highest good, something exquisitely beautiful begins to happen. You start attracting people and experiences that are in true, vibrant alignment with your soul's deepest desires. New, genuine connections begin to blossom, ones that feel light, expansive, and deeply inspiring. You find yourself in the company of those who truly get you, who wholeheartedly support your unique path, who actively encourage your dreams rather than subtly belittle them. These are the relationships that add immense value to your life. They don't drain you, they profoundly fuel you. And slowly, beautifully, you begin to rebuild. A brand new chapter commences, one filled with authentic bonds that gracefully replace the superficial ones, the kind of connections that don't just fill an empty space, but deeply nurture your spirit. You stop settling for half-hearted relationships and begin welcoming the kind of profound love, whether in friendship, family, or romance, that truly sees you, genuinely hears you, and unequivocally respects you. This is the undeniable sign that you're meticulously preparing for a new, truly extraordinary stage in your life. One where you are more intimately in tune with who you truly are. One where peace is prioritized, where your heart is safe, and where your soul is finally free to grow, to love, and to live without restraint. This is more than just a shift. It's your magnificent rebirth. Sign 6, the unshakable desire to break free. You're experiencing an overwhelming, unshakable desire to break free from everything that no longer truly serves your highest good. As you bravely step into this vibrant new phase of your life, you start to notice that what once felt essential, deeply meaningful, or even utterly irreplaceable now carries significantly less weight. It's as if something profound deep within you has irrevocably shifted. Your perspective is broadening, your energy is actively transforming, and what once seemed to rigidly define your world now gracefully begins to fade into the background. Relationships that used to feel vital may now feel strained or unexpectedly disconnected. Activities that once filled you with genuine joy might now seem hollow, repetitive, or simply unfulfilling. Even familiar places, spots that once provided a sense of comfort or belonging, might suddenly feel distant or strangely unfamiliar. And know this doesn't mean that your past was a mistake or that your previous choices were inherently wrong. It simply beautifully means you're evolving. You're consciously shedding layers of an identity that no longer genuinely fits. You're stepping into a more aligned, more authentic version of yourself. And in doing so, certain pieces of your old life naturally, inevitably begin to fall away. This profound disconnection might initially feel uncomfortable. There can be moments of deep confusion, subtle sadness, or even a wistful nostalgia. You might find yourself questioning, why don't I enjoy this anymore? Or why do I feel so distant from people I used to love? And yet amidst that discomfort, there's a subtle but undeniable feeling of immense freedom. It's like breathing fresh, crisp air after being confined in a stuffy room for far too long. You may not intellectually understand everything that's happening, but something profound inside you knows it's time to courageously let go. You begin to acutely notice that certain habits, ingrained routines, or even persistent thought patterns no longer resonate with your current state of being. What once consumed your anxious attention now barely stirs you. Old fears lose their debilitating grip. Constant worries seem less urgent, less pressing. And while this can bring a sense of perceived loss, it also carries with it a profound, calming sense of peace. There's a sacred silence that beautifully follows the act of letting go. An inner calm, a stillness that wasn't there before. You're not just merely releasing the old, then you're actively making abundant room for the new. And this new is not just something external. It's a deeper, more profound alignment with who you are truly becoming. This isn't a sudden seismic transformation. It gracefully unfolds slowly, almost quietly. Day by day, the shift deepens, becoming more pronounced. You might wake up one morning and suddenly realize you no longer feel passionate about something that once defined your very identity. Or you might find that conversations with certain people leave you feeling drained rather than genuinely inspired. This isn't about betrayal. It's not about abandoning your past or callously rejecting the people in it. It's about profoundly honoring your evolution, recognizing that authentic growth often means gracefully outgrowing. You're cultivating a more refined awareness of what truly matters to your soul. Your inner compass is actively recalibrating. You deeply understand that in order to powerfully move forward, you must gracefully release what no longer genuinely nourishes your spirit. It could be a demanding job, a superficial friendship, an outdated belief system, or simply a version of yourself that no longer feels authentically true. This process is sacred. It's an integral part of your magnificent becoming. And while it may not always be easy, it is profoundly necessary. Remember, the universe has a unique, often mysterious way of guiding us, sometimes gently with a soft whisper, sometimes abruptly with a powerful jolt, but always without fail, purposefully. If you're hearing these words right now, if they resonate even a little, trust that it's no accident. You were specifically meant to receive this profound message. Something powerful within you is actively awakening. A deeper wisdom is steadily rising to the surface. And if you follow it, if you courageously trust this inner knowing, you are about to enter a chapter of your life where everything finally starts to make profound sense. So what happens when you finally take control of your life, fully aware of these powerful signs? What happens when you embrace the beautiful chaos of transformation? It's not just about realizing these shifts are happening. It's about acting on them. It's about choosing courage over comfort. If this message stirred something within you, if you felt that deep resonance, then I invite you to take the next brave step. Hit that like button to affirm your own unfolding journey. Subscribe to this channel to join a community committed to growth and self-discovery, because you are not alone in this. And most importantly, share this video with someone you believe is on the brink of their own breakthrough. Let's create a ripple effect of awakening, one conscious step at a time. Now, I want to hear from you. In the comments below, share which of these signs resonated most deeply, or tell us about a time you experienced a profound transformation in your own life. Your story could be the very spark someone else needs to ignite their own journey. Don't just watch this message. Become this message. Your extraordinary future is calling. Are you ready to answer